All right, we are ready to go. This is a 3-2 Blitz tournament. 1 hour of Blitz chess. 3-2 time control. B3. Okay, I guess we'll start with D5. And just play it pretty simple. Get my bishop out. No, I'm not going to be too quick to move my c-pawn because I'm a little bit fearful of bishop b5. So let's go here, actually. I don't have to worry about a pin against my knight. I'm going to look to control this square. Should I do that right now? Now let's castle. Maybe my knight does go to c6. Should I have taken some time out to preserve my light square bishop? I don't know. It seems I'm fine with this trade. Also, there's no longer as much control over this square, so maybe I could look to expand. Sacrifices here. Okay, I think I want my c-pawn contributing, and my knight belongs on c6, I'm almost certain. So let's do that, and go from here. Meanwhile, I guess white is heading for knight f3, which may run into this in this move, and my knight will get in there. Let's do this. Knight f3, I'm going to jump in here and follow up with this move. Oh. Let's just sidestep this advance with the fork. I don't want to move this pawn too quick because it gives up these squares to the knight. About even on the clock. I'm looking for this stuff. I know this is a closed file to closed file type move, but he has the potential to exchange himself off, so the C file may very well open up. Alright, I think I want to keep pressure on the E pawn and also look for this. Really? You going for some sacrifice here? I don't know. Well, not much I could do if they want to really do this move. It seems very, very odd. Let's take once. And then get my knight to b6. Put pressure here. I can't recapture. I do have some squares for my c6 knight. Interesting position. This knight can't go too far. This tension, something needs to happen with it. I don't know if I want to push here and get a passed pawn because why? Let's do this. Doubled temporarily. I think this is a good position for me now. Takes, opens up the C file, opens up a square for my bishop. What is happening over here? You really lining up a sacrifice on this square? Take once? Now let's go here. Maybe threatening this capture, or maybe even a push and then here. That would almost certainly force them to do what? This is hitting everything. I think they have to take my knight if I do this. It's an interesting moment. I'm going to try this. Got to take my knight, otherwise I get some material. They may be able to just give me some material and sacrifice here. They'd be playing down a rook. They have some sort of perpetual, though, maybe. I could block with my rook on f7 if that happens. A little concerning. Also, an important question for me is, how do I take if bishop takes knight? I'm not sure. They're prepared to sack? And then knight e4? There is some compensation for that, so much so that I'm not going to go straight in for knight e3. Yeah. Let's go here. He definitely can't go anywhere. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I just don't... If there might be some knight here move. No, I have that covered enough. What am I talking about? This structure here kills the bishop. I want to put pressure here and defend against this pawn push. No, against this sacrifice, actually. This idea of the queen killing my king and the rook coming over on the h-file, to be very delicate. Kind of want to jump in right now. My knight is going to get kicked away soon. I guess here. Let's open up this wing. Look for a5. I might have to just be all right with knight here. What are the alternatives? Not good. Opposite color bishops, this is a very committal move, so okay, I'm going to be down a pawn, but well, more than that actually. My knight is a big dummy here on b6. Rook d4 is maybe a way to bring my pieces to life. If he's ever captured, I have this square open. I'm glad that I'm controlling this. What are they lining up with that move? Knight here. Wow. That's a very interesting move. I feel like I want to take that knight. I'm going to prepare against a sacrifice on this square, or prepare against a knight move, but at the same time I'm kind of just sitting and waiting. Okay. So this was my plan, to give the piece back. Otherwise I'm staring at this kind of stuff. I don't think they should have jumped in. I think I was more inconvenienced. Are they sacrificing here? I think they have to do something against my king soon. Otherwise, feels like I'm just better. Wow. I think I'm winning now. If they're not going to have some sacrifice here, I have the safer king, better structure. I missed that move. Let's do this first. Ooh. If I took with the queen, there's rook g3. 8 seconds, not enough. Let's take that pawn. Prepare to run here. Their bishop's in a pin. My knight is not playing. I have a check on g5. Oh, they just dropped their queen. Whew, that's an unexpected end, and they had a lot of pressure. I was definitely the worst side there. If they did not jump their knight into f6 so soon. Because with my queen on d8, what's happening is my queen is stuck there defending against a sack on f6, and in the meantime, how do I get my rook working? I don't. My rook on f8 never gets to play, and I believe they could move their queen and start pushing their h-pawn to make progress. Meanwhile, what do? I think that's a moment where they should have not pulled the trigger on knight f6 so soon. Let's go here. I'm preparing e5, knight f1, bishop f4. Oh, that's a very quick strike at e5. I guess we have to give him up. This guy is berserking me, by the way. Let's make sure I control e5. I don't think I'm going to be able to control e5. I think I have to invite my d-pawn into the mix here. And I could get one more developing move in. I don't think there's any great knight discovery should my queen be opposite the rook. They're preparing e5 right now. I guess I have to take. I helped them develop. Oh, knight e5 was the other move. Silly. All right, let's go for this. I want my knight to be able to move before it gets to a point where this pawn does start rolling and then he gets kicked away. I want my bishop's eyes to open up. I want to have these two exchange, so he's finally contributing. At the same time, I have given up e4. They still push with that. I don't think that that's correct. I'm actually the better developed side. Can I put that to use? I think we must start with this. And I guess we'll take here. And what are they doing on this move? Rook has to go here. Okay, this is some progress actually, because what I could do is consider c4. In fact, I should have played c4 on the last move, maybe. What? No. I have bishop takes d5. And at the end of it, my queen would be pinning their bishop. This is important. Oh, also worth noting is that when you berserk, you lose your increment. So this is pretty serious, to say the least. I did have some fear of, in the end, a bishop coming here for mate, but they can't pull that off because, as mentioned, the bishop is pinned. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. And they resigned. Yeah, I'm almost certain I misplayed that. They did well to undermine my center quick, and I don't think I was able to reinforce e5 like I should have. I needed a couple more moves in. If I was able to get in, let's say h4, knight h2 into, I don't know, g4, but I can't really go to g4 so soon. They had a knight on f6. Short story, I wasn't in time to secure my e5 point, and so they started to get a pawn roller going. I don't think they responded well to my d4 move. I think just c takes d, knight takes d, and then in the end e5 would have been better. All right, so we have a Nimzo, Indian. I have 4 points. The leader has 10. Let's castle. Black and Gold 09. Thank you very much for the subscription. All right, let's prepare to form a dark square pawn chain, because I'm viewing this position already where, as if I've already given up my dark square bishop, who is unprotected at the moment, but at any point I could take out one of these pieces. I would really like to first see a3. This might be a moment to even open up the position since my opponent has wasted quite some time. I'm only 2 moves away from completing development. 1, 2, 3 for white. Is it really worthwhile to do this? No, I'm just going to develop like this. I wouldn't mind seeing bishop takes bishop, or excuse me, e4 I should say, because then when I drop my bishop back, I could look at this f5 advance and crack open the f-file and my rook will be brought to life. If e4, I'm not sure. Oh, actually on e4 I could take the knight and then take here, excuse me. And I think that that's what I would do. e4 I take and then take here. Let's do it. Pawn takes bishop, as otherwise I'm winning some material. Okay. Well, they have the 2 bishops, so this is going to help my next decision. I just want to be assured that one of these 2 guys is exchanged. And it pretty much forces white's hand. Well, it assures me that the light square bishops will be exchanged. So now I'm in an ideal position to get my f-pawn rolling. I have good control over this c5 square. It's a deficient structure, doubled c pawns. c5 is a hole. It's a hole for white. Let's get running with this guy. I have g3 if the knight is ever kicked with f3. This would be serious weakness. I think I should crack open this position right away because I'm up on time, on board, and I have the f5 square, play for my rook. I could have also captured this pawn. I didn't take note of that, but this should be fine. Bishop d4, I guess. King is still in the middle and without a good home, really. Go king side, queen side, there's no good home. This is their best piece. Let's improve my knight and look to take out the best piece. Have enormous knights with very good possibilities. Many holes to work with. Squares in front of these isolated pawns are all holes. And this is giving up another hole. Knight g3. I have the e-file as a check. I'd like this rook to come over to give the check. So I'm looking more at queen h4 stuff. In fact, I could have played queen h4 instead of the knight move. And that actually would have been better, huh? Yeah, I should have played queen h4. Let's do it now. And prepare to get my last piece involved. He is the best piece, but at the same time, I like my knight on f5, who has some good possibilities. There are multiple gaps. Let's get here. The king is, I guess, going to run. And I think I'll just jump in here. No, he's not running. Well, I could just get out of this pin. And now there's going to be some serious issue with the knight. I'm also threatening queen takes c3. Under 50 seconds for white. There was some not so useful moves played by white. Bishop c2 and h3, and this cost them. Could win the queen. Let's just go straight in for it. And I can maybe even get fancy and take here first. Yeah, actually this works. Check, queen blocks, check. Yeah, this is probably even better and leading to mate. Still on the queen with the knight. If she blocks, I take the rook. The queen has to block again in this position and then enters the rook now. Yeah. Give a check. Give another check on g2. And rook e2 if the queen blocks. And mate next with queen takes queen, regardless of where the king goes. Alright, they resigned. We have 8 points. 42 players. I believe he just finished. So I think we're going to get paired up again. Self-service. Let's see. 40 minutes left in this one. Back 3. He berserked his... Oh no, this guy just is now up there with 14. Let's see what we get. Okay, self-service again. Playing is black again. Okay. Another b3. I'll revisit this same line, and I think I'm going to opt for h6 and preserve my light square bishop, right? Now let me get one more move in. He played bishop e2 last time. Okay, now we're going to do this. He could have also gone for this one move earlier. So I'm going to do the same thing, focus on e5. Probably castle. Now let's get here. And I think I just want to reinforce maybe here first, actually. c6, knight here. If I take, I get forked. No, I'm okay. I'm okay if they jump in here, because I'm going to put immediate pressure on it, and then if they play f4, I have the e4 square to work with. So I'm liking my position here. It's a very solid structure. I think getting the a pawn working, looking for an a4 break is sensible. They've just weakened b4, and this is a hole. Queen b8 comes to mind, just to rule out knight e5 altogether. But also what comes to mind is just posting up in the center. Let's do that. And now I'm prepared to take. This was one of the ideas, and I think I'm winning material now. With this capture, maybe I should play here right away, actually. Knight takes knight, knight takes knight. I don't have to take that knight right away. What are they doing on this move? Where I'm threatening to win the exchange. I guess they have to try for this. Oh, no, 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 no. They could return the knight here. I might be quite disruptive, though. Looking for this stuff, or maybe even looking to take with this. They might have to return the rook to f1. Yeah. Let's do this. I should have captured first, and I believe they would have to take here first. I don't think they would lose the exchange, but they'd have to be accurate. Okay, now there's an option for knight c3 even. Oh, he's got to be really disruptive here, no? Picking up the light square bishop, but do I need to even take him right away? I'll scoop him up. I don't know. It feels active. I don't know that I want to recapture with the pawn. I think my queen could be pretty good on b4. Okay, now they're going to force that. I am on the rook in the meantime. And I think with now c5, I'm able to play on the c file. Their knight is pinned. Should I just go straight in for this or first capture the bishop? I have to be very careful because I have some dark square weaknesses that concern me. I'd really like to exchange my light square bishop. Kind of don't want to end up with the pawn on b5. Should I just go straight in for b6? Yeah. I don't know if I should do that. I'm going to take, and I'm going to do something that looks really weird. Oh, I would have expected queen takes. I'm looking for an e5 break next. I don't think I'll... Well, you know what? I haven't ruled out yet. I'm under 50 seconds. I haven't ruled out b6 yet. In fact, I will be able to get this in now because of the pressure my knight has on this square. And this rook is offside. Let's come all the way back just to sidestep knight e5 with tempo in case my knight wants to go elsewhere. On pawn takes, I'm taking with the queen because I have a backward pawn and I'll look to eliminate him as soon as possible for white's perfectly healthy d4 pawn. Takes, queen takes, c5 is the very next pawn break I'm looking for. So they didn't take. So what this means is I could take. I now have a majority in the center. I also have a rook that has play on the b file. I have good squares to work with. And I could probably post up in the center, or should I look for this move? No, I don't have enough control over it. Let's start with this. My queen is... Oh! Knight here threatens mate. That could have been pretty scary. Alright, let's stop that idea. 24 seconds. I gotta go faster. Too much talking in this one. I don't like that my queen has to watch over this pawn, but it's just how it is for the moment. Given time, I'd really like to kick this knight away. Maybe just pile up on the b file. Yeah, this knight is now... He can't move. In fact, I'm already threatening e5. In fact, e5 and then d4. Yeah, let's do it. Get a tempo against the queen. I'm going to take the knight. One of them. Let's do this first. And then here. Yeah, let's take one knight. I don't believe in attack against my king. With just one piece, the queen will be enough. Okay. Let's hit the queen. That wasn't best. I should have stayed doubled on the b file. Let's go here. Work myself into a pin. Okay, maybe now we could take 8 seconds. Could I get away with this move? Knight here. I don't like my technique here. In fact, I'm in a pin that I just can't get out of now. Is this a move? It is. Didn't calculate that. Might be getting mated. 6 seconds. Yikes. This is how I have to defend? Fortunately, oh, there's that move. Wow. Sad, man. Sad. This was very, very bad technique. No good, man. I really, really spoiled this one. With increment, I have no shot. Don't even know what I'm threatening with this last move. I could have even played here and won the piece back, I guess. There's a bunch of checks now. Fortunately, the rook isn't playing for the moment. Ever perpetual? Their knight is in a pin. I should be looking to attack the knight. Oh, I don't know how to even make out what's going on here. Are they stopping my pawn? I'm winning this? Oh, they have that move. Can I hold this to a draw? Let's pick up this pawn. Wow. Well, I'm going to try to hold on to this one. Get behind the pawn, I guess. Okay, I guess their knight is going to have to defend. He's going to be the blockader. I think it should be the rook who's the blockader. I don't think my opponent went about it the right way. Because now I'm going to be the one pressing for a win. Wow. Don't end up in a fork, man. They're offering a draw. I'm going to try to win this one. Wow. Okay, maybe I could try to torture white. Maybe. With this distance between the king and rook, there's not going to be I could have just taken the pawn and should have. Be picking him up next. At least I thought. Let's go here. Oh, this game is not a good one for the tournament, because it probably will end as a draw, but I think it's still the correct thing to try and win this one. I don't want to lose fire. Alright. Let's try to put pressure on the clock, maybe force them into something. Force them into something. 50 moves. Oh, less than 50 moves. There's a fork. Maybe better in the end. Oh, what a back and forth game. I was better, winning, and then they were winning, and then I had a slim chance of maybe winning. I don't know what to make of it. Okay, that one's in the past. Forget about it. We got 10. 18 is up top. 18, 13, 10, 10, 10. And a few more 10s. Alright, let's try e4. Less than 30 minutes. Wow, where has the time gone? Whew. No, I'm not going to take there. Let's play 4 knights. Uh-huh. Okay. Guess we'll go for this. Alrighty. And we're going to play in the center. My opponent wasted some time, so I'm going to look to take advantage of that. They have the bishops, but I have a lead time-wise. It's slight, but it's there. Let's invite a new piece into the action. The queenie. Would I really do something like this? That's probably asking for trouble. Bishop g5, rook a d1, and e5. That is a serious weakness. Just scoop back a single square, or... yeah, right here is a good post. Stays out of the bishop's way, keeps pressure here. And actually, this is the weakness. This is a hole in black's position. I'm just going to target it. Boom, boom, and there's big trouble. It's probably already losing for black. And it probably was necessary to immediately kick my knight. Rook a d1. This is collapsing. And I think I want to take with my bishop so that my knight ends up there. This can't be good either. I have knight c7 with check. Winning the rook at least. But this is maybe one where probably want to avoid ending up in some puzzle. Maybe there's a mate right around the corner here, huh? Take the rook? Or take the pawn? Yeah, I'm going to go for this. I don't have to take the rook right away. I should be looking for mate. Push, knight here. That may end up doing it, actually. These squares are under control by my knight. My pawn could control this. And I think we're going to have mate. Check and then knight e5. It's going to do it. Back to tournament. That was a quick one. Important to get a quick game in there. I do not have fire. So this next game, if I win, I'll get 2. And then we're back on streak. I only have 1 game in there with the 4. Ooh, I see Captain Obvious is in here. Did he get a late start? I didn't see him at the start of the tournament. We would have been paired up, actually, so a bit of a late start, but I see him in there. Let's try Sicilian against red, yellow, 4. Okay, let's break up the pawn duo. Secure my queen post on c7. And what next? Okay, we had this in the simul. Who did I play against? Okay, yeah, I played a 2300 player in the simul, and I took like this. So I'm going to revisit this structure. I'm going to immediately play e5 and get my knight here. f4, there's knight g4 with bishop c5. They have to take some care. Okay, so they're not going for f4. Let me rule out first knight a5 stuff. Although, no, bishop here is fine. I can meet knight a4 with now knight d7, and my bishop is not bothered by my knight being on d7. So this is not an inconvenience. What also kept me from playing b5 in this position was a lack of development and the possibilities that white can follow up with a4 looking to crack open the queen side. So let's complete development here. And this may still be a maneuver. I'm not only doing this in reply to knight a4. Okay, oops, let's do what I said I was going to do. Offset the knight. And I could look to next kick him and then maybe even trade dark square bishops, which is desirable, or even jump in with my knight on c5. Bishop here is no good because, well, it's actually maybe possible. I was thinking there's a fork, but my knight is a bit soft at the end of that. Alright, let's kick him out. Stop him from eyeing up my dark squares here. And this would actually threaten to win the bishop, who's lacking some squares here. At the same time, it gives up d5. I like this move, actually, because I'm going to win the bishop, and I have possibilities for bishop c4 skewers, or maybe even bishop b3, controlling d1, and this may translate into me gaining full control over the d file. So we're actually going to have this exact thing happen. Well, directly there's a skewer if they take with the piece. If they take with the pawn, that weakens b3, and then I can look forward to pinpointing a backward d pawn. I think that this is best, not to immediately give up any material, and I don't see any reason not to go straight in for this punch against the rook. Okay. This knight ready to move? Don't think so. Let's get straight on that d-pawn, who is weak. I thought this was an idea, and, white gunning for d4 as soon as possible, exchanging an unhealthy for a perfectly healthy pawn. In the lead, top guy is at 22. So let's see, my pretty natural stuff is just the doubling on the D file. I may have to be on the lookout for skewers. How do they dislodge my bishop? He has to be a great, great bother. Actually, this idea of rook d2 and push needed more work because I can get to c4, picking up some material. So I think they have to go with f4. No, they're allowing this skewer. Also, they were even allowing just me landing a fork here. I should have gone for that. Well, in the end, I'm going to get it. Let's take the rook first. I'm going to be up a full rook now. And now we have this. No good way out of it. Knight here is maybe the only try, but I'm pretty sure I could just take him. And then take here. Okay. Let's just do this. Their best piece is their bishop soon, so I'm just going to look to neutralize that bishop. And then we're doing good. Just get rid of their active pieces. I don't have any Nothing deep here. No sophisticated plan going on. Neutralize the good pieces of your opponent, and that's it. Okay. I don't like making this move, but... Alright. Whatever. Just go here. I could have picked up the h2 pawn, but... I don't know. Alright, we're going to go here and look for c5. I'm not threatening to capture the bishop, but... Let's just go here anyway. Oh my goodness, I really fell for that. They hit me with the skewer back. It's still alright, I'm playing up a piece, but I should have at least seen that. Let's get a flight square, h4 as well. Look to invite the rook in here and unpin my bishop at the same time. Rook up and over for some activity. And they're down on time. Okay, we have fire now. This next game is very important. There's only 18 minutes left. How many games? I got 6 games in. So does this top guy, who has a couple berserks in there. No speed bumps at all. And that's really the difference. 22. Is he in the middle of a game? He is, against Self-Service. This is their game, and alrighty. Luca Prodan 86. Let's try modern. Let's see, oh, that's an early e5. Let's challenge that pawn that's in my position right away. Continue still with c5? Actually, maybe f6. It's very early pawn moves, not developing moves, so I want to crack open this position. We're going with c5. I may go uncastled here. Or no, actually on this capture I could bring my queen out with check. Alright, this needs to be punished. I'm creating some gaps in my position by doing this, but I want to put an enormous amount of pressure on e5. They spent a lot of time trying to establish that pawn on e5. I want to hit that pawn a real lot. I want to force white into capturing and giving up their e5 point. So moves like knight f7 come to mind. Knight c6. While it puts pressure on e5, it may run into push, and then yikes. That is pretty cramping. So as it stands right now, 1, 2, 3. Let's add a 4th attacker to e5. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many defenders? 1, 2, 3. They have to react. Here gets in the way of the bishop. And at the same time would threaten maybe this move and this. They take like this, I'm taking with the pawn or bishop, I don't know. I have some interesting options regardless of what kind of captures they make. Going with that, so I'm winding a pawn, am I not? I think I want to take in this direction first. Let's take here first. I know I give the knight this square, but I want to make sure we could get maximum number of exchanges in. Also, there's new possibilities for my queen now that there isn't a pawn here, so it's not just a one-way street. Knight c3, I have queen a5 with check, potentially. I think I want to go in for one more capture, and I think it's best to take with the d pawn. Make sure my queen is opened up here, for when they capture with the d pawn, I could have their king go uncastled. So I've successfully broken up their king position, and I'm not so sure I want to trade queens, actually, because... Okay, I didn't see that move. I think maybe I do better to keep the queens on. but we'll see. As it stands right now, I'm up a pawn, so I could also look into making even exchanges. Could kind of go either way. Keep queens on or not. Less than 15 left in this tournament. It's really been flying by. This was a really fast, to me at least, this was a really fast 45 minutes. They're in the think tank here. What would I do as white here? That move? Okay, now I can take and should take. Follow up with the queen check. Let's go for that. Play queen a5, the knight has to return. Let's kick him out. I'm basically kicking the knight out of my position with this move. He has to retreat. And I think taking here is good. Or should I just develop? Yeah, I'm going to develop. Taking here and allowing the knight into this square means I have to deal with possibilities for knight e6. I don't want to improve their knight like that. I'm looking at knight c6, well, I'm looking at rook d8 next, exerting more pressure on d4. There was earlier attention given to e5, but now the attention is pointed at d4. And now I should really lean more into initiating this capture. Or just pin right away. I feel like pinning is best. I'm okay with this push. I'm just going to castle if they do that. Maybe I should have captured. I don't know. Yeah, this might be a tough pawn to work around, actually. Okay, now I'm definitely capturing. The only question is how. I'm going to take with the pawn. Not just to undouble the pawns, but I want to throw a punch. And I don't want to allow this knight. My queen is hit. Let's react and throw a punch back. Right in the center is likely excellent. Okay, I could just castle. Yeah, taking with the pawn, well, if I took with the knight, it allows their knight to exchange, and this rook is, he can see easily. Let's push him, he's passed. Maybe I take the rook. Maybe. But I don't like taking the material in this case. I think it's better to improve. I don't want to weaken, I mean, he's my #1 defender of these weak squares. I'm going to recapture with the queen. Although, yeah, I'll take with the queen. I'm vulnerable to checks if I take with the king. Let's go here. Rook is maybe something I take now that the position is simplified. I still don't want to take, actually. No, I'm taking the material now. Oh, they went for that. Now I'm just up a full rook. They needed to play queen takes bishop. My rook is hit, and we're just looking to go here. Push through with the pawn, or maybe even give mate. Bishop can control h2. They're down a full rook. And a pawn. Ooh. You might want to go a little bit faster. Oh, they're down on time. Now they resigned. Okay. We have 18. The top guy. Was he the top guy all the while? Anyhow, he slipped out. So I'm back 4. The top guy does not have fire. This is doable. Gotta get some faster games in, though, clearly. Not sure why I'm playing this particular opening, but try and make it work. Let's get in f4 before knight here. At least my rook will be happy once I'm castled. Let's immediately question the bishop. If he backs up, I could trap him. Expecting this move. This is what I had prepared. Knight here I could take. Bishop here I have g3. Oh, but that move I didn't account for. Yikes. Wow, that is a sharp move. Huh. Actually, I have something fancy, I think. Wow. That is actually a move, isn't it? Threatening to take out the knight, which would stop this bishop h4 idea, and this move with the discovered check, and I could pick up the knight next. However, the complications are far from over, because bishop here is hitting next and my king is running. But so too is the black king. I think my king will find shelter on d1. So let's get the piece back. In comes bishop h4. I'm glad it's not the queen. I think this is best. Okay, what an interesting start out of what's normally a tame opening. And now we're going to have the queens exchange, and that's quite all right with me. Queen has to... Actually, no, I'm just picking up the knight. I thought when the queen blocks, they're defending the knight somehow. Brain cramp. Could have even taken the rook. No, I couldn't have. Now I'm trying to take the rook. The bishop is pinned. Okay, so I'm up a piece early now in this one. And probably just bishop here. Pile up on that pinned piece. Follow-up moves knight d5, and I may just win in exchange and be up a full rook in the end. I'll probably have to unpin somehow. Queen here. Challenge the piece that's pinning. Actually, this saves it. Queen d6 is the only save. Actually, I'm on this. I have this move, knight takes c7. So I'll be grabbing some more material, and that's actually running into a quick mate. Okay. Ooh, we are at 22 now. Tied for the lead, and we have fire. One more game in. We have... we're at the 6-minute, 6.5 mark, and we're going to get paired up with self-service, I imagine. 56 players for this created tournament. A third time, a third meeting. He has a 5-point lead. Oh, what a tough pairing. We have Captain Obvious. Alrighty. Not self-service. He would have... Just before I got paired up, I was wondering, should I berserk? And that would be really, really bad. That's something that only Ferrari does. Okay. Yeah, that's really tough. Doing without berserk. Or, excuse me, doing without the increment when you berserk. So I want to put immediate pressure on d4. That's my plan. I want to see white commit their d-pawn early. I want some useful information as fast as possible. What are you going to do with your d-pawn? If they support it with the knight, I could consider pinning the knight. On d5, I think I'm going to drift towards the king side. Alright, let's do it. I could think about this. There's two gaps in white's position, two holes, f3, e3, potentially a pawn. Ooh, I'm glad that that's not hitting with check. I'm going to do this move first, actually. Don't know if it's best, but I'm going to give it a shot. I want to see this move because it weakens b3, and then if the queen ever moves, I have a4 clamping immediately down on this AB structure. So this is a very positional-minded advance here. I also have ideas of this. So this is what I wanted, and now I'm going to drift in this direction, looking at knight c5 and then a4, and they can't really stop this idea. So what this means is that my queen side, I have a very, very good lockdown on the queen side because of this a5 idea. They're stopping knight c5, but he won't be denied here. I'm fine with bishop takes knight. I'll take with the b pawn and then look to play against the backward b pawn. There's no reason not to jump right into c5 here. I want my bishop's eyes to open up. I could even consider knight b3, however, not just yet. They were threatening to take out my knight and then take the a4 pawn. I may dodge a bishop for knight capture, and I think that's worthwhile. There is no undermining my knight because I could always recapture with my bishop. Let's get my f-pawn rolling, at least I think. There's something better. No, I'm going to go in for this. f4, e4. Let's see what they do. They're going to go for that. Well, I have my squares as well. They have this square, I have this square. So I could look for this. This is a dummy piece. He needs to do something else. Let's keep the pressure on my opponent clockwise. What's the story with that move? You're trying for a g4 break. Well, I played king h8 for a reason. I think my knight stands really well right here. Wow. This is very active. Runs into this, huh? I guess queen h4 is the idea. Wow. Don't want to touch this pawn because their dark square bishop is still around. Scary. Interesting move, man. Interesting move. Alright. Which rook? Honestly, don't think it matters. I guess we'll go with this one, I guess. I want to make sure this position doesn't get too locked. Knight here must be correct. My king belongs closer towards the center. I should have done this when I had the chance before my knight moved. I want a light square bishop exchange. No, I don't, actually. I think he needs to watch over these squares. Tough to assess this position. I'm going to have to weaken my dark squares, I think. Let's start with this. Knight d4. It's clearly right around the corner. There's only 59 seconds left in this tournament, so this one will likely not finish in time. Okay, king goes here. I have knight d3. I don't know. Let's just go here first. Reinforce this guy. I don't think g4 is on just yet. Let's jump in. I may even be okay with giving up a pawn. Not just yet. Okay, you know what? In order to make progress, I have to play on this side of the board. I'm looking for h6, g5, I guess. My king should be over here. I'm going to jump in here if the rook comes over. And why exactly? Oh, man. Oh, they did take. Okay, so they're going to go after that pawn. They will get him. They have to take him now. Alright, let's try for g5. Let's try to stir up some trouble while I have a strongly placed knight. Close shot? I don't think I net myself anything by going here. Let's push. I think I can make some progress over here. The king side may soon get shut down. It is. Let's make sure this is here. Okay, the attention's now going to turn towards the queen side. And for as long as I can maintain a grip over this square, they're basically playing without the e-pawn. They're up a pawn, but they're really not playing with this pawn. I really don't want to go elsewhere with my bishop. They're making a play here, which weakens the a-pawn that I'm going to look to target. Their bishop is also loose. Should I take that bishop and give up my strong knight? No. Rook a4, double on the a-file. See, they're up a pawn, but they have some weak stuff here. Knight c5. Let's try like this. Oh, they have a knight move here, huh? Let's see if they take. They are taking. I'm winning that pawn, though, no? Oh, I'm getting some material here, no? Their king is super vulnerable. Yeah, this should be winning. Yeah, this is a very easy base point for me to cover. Now pawns are dropping left and right. My rooks are pigs. Super pigs. Don't have time, though. Let's make some progress like this. I could have taken the g-pawn. But this'll work, though. Their king is way out of the action, and I have a passed c-pawn now. And their king can't go too far. Could welcome trades. Keep pushing. This is a win. And I could just do it like this. I don't need my pawn. Just come over here to track these guys down. And they resigned. I don't know if I should have made progress like that. It's probably holdable. Giving up the bishop allowed 10 points to enter the action. I think necessary was knight c2. But, well, c4 is dropping. So these vulnerable points became super accessible as soon as he was traded for him, but we were both in mutual time pressure at that stage. A lot of pawn shifts in this last one, really tough to assess. This is really, this last game that was played is really one that you have to probably have a lot of time for to reevaluate with these different structural changes and really assessing who's the better side with each pawn capture or pawn move. Many different shifts in that one. Okay, and that is a wrap 2 and 1 hour tournament that really did, for me again at least, flew right by. Top was self-service. We had a couple games in. He was the one that I drew against. He had 10 games in. 8 games. I had 8 games as well. 31, 24, 22, top 3. Another 2 up there with 20s. 58 players in all. Oops. Let's see page 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, to the 58 of you that took part in this created tournament. Good games. Oh, all right.